What did LeBron do? LeBron had done something to me. And he was coming to UFC fights and he wasn't doing autographs, and it was just one of these things that rubbed me the wrong way. And he and I have one thing in common. We use the same drug dealer to buy our EPO.
What Ric Bucher didn't say out loud still shook the NBA world like a bolt of lightning. Just the sound of his voice sent waves through the basketball scene. Waves that had been quietly building for years. Think about it. What if the strongest, most consistent superstar of this era isn't just naturally talented? What if there's something extra at play that people suspect? Here's the part that makes fans sit up straight. Booker says it's not just online fans talking, it's people inside the league who already believe it. Coaches, trainers, even players whispering behind closed doors like it's an open secret they don't want recorded. These people aren't just curious anymore, they're acting like the answer is obvious. To see how these little whispers became big talk the league can't ignore, we have to go back to where it started. Ric Bucher opened the door when he spoke on a podcast. He's a longtime NBA insider, a real league veteran. He didn't accuse LeBron of anything, he didn't have to. He just said one line, "LeBron and I have the same guy." Same source for EPOs.
Lord, he dunking? He's still dunking the ball with. I'm saying that Bronny can get a bucket on Bron. I'm saying he can't. One rollout, get a bucket. 3 dribbles? No way. I'm talking about. He can get a bucket on. No. Man, come on, that little dude is explosive, bro. He is, but you seen his dad? His dad on that balcony. He on that new balcony. He's sliding like he used to.
He didn't pause, didn't smirk, didn't say, "Just kidding." He said it with total confidence, like he was ordering lunch. And EPO isn't some ordinary fitness vitamin, it's a serious performance booster. The same kind that kept Lance Armstrong dominating cycling for years. Sonnen didn't just mention it once either, he kept saying it on different shows, like he was doubling down each time. The craziest part? Nobody fired back. No statements denying it, no team pushing back, just total silence. And in moments like this, silence can feel very intentional. Sure, someone could argue, bro, Chel's UFC, not NBA. Maybe he's just stirring the pot for attention. Normally that might work, but that excuse fell apart the second a real NBA legend entered the conversation. That's when Kevin Garnett dropped his own spark on the story. And trust me, KG doesn't talk in riddles. Kevin Garnett doesn't sugarcoat, if something's on his mind, he says it straight, loud, and clear. Always has. So, when he hinted that LeBron was on that new juice, it didn't sound like a joke. It sounded deliberate. On a podcast, KG said his dad on that balcony, he on that new sliding like he used to. New juice. That's not random talk. That's a loaded message. And coming from KG, a champion, a leader, someone who fought LeBron in real playoff battles, it hit differently. This wasn't a retired bench player throwing shade. This was one of the most respected competitors of his generation, dropping a coded line that everyone in the room understood instantly.
The more annoying aspects, I'd say, of the idolatry of LeBron. That he is credited by some as being this sensei that has the answer to all things basketball, and that everybody's going to him for the answers. Now, we know for a fact that guys did that with Kobe. I don't know of anybody who has said, yes, I sought out LeBron to find out his secrets. I certainly, look, I appreciate LeBron for what he's done. I just don't make the assumption that everyone wants to be him. And there's also the nagging question about exactly how he's maintained such extraordinary fitness at such a ripe age. But we all know what the speculation is out there. And I can assure you there's plenty of it, privately, by players and personnel in the league. Like, I've always thought, maybe it could be, and I've had players and coaches say things to me like they take it for granted. They assume it's true. It always catches me a little off guard. They're just like, oh yeah.
When an outsider like Sonnen says it, people shrug it off. But when Kevin Garnett says it, everything changes instantly. This is KG, a Hall of Famer, a warrior, someone who knows elite performance inside and out. And even he's hinting, in his own cryptic way, that something about this story doesn't sit right. The bounce, the stamina, the durability at almost 40, it made people start connecting dots they hadn't noticed before. There's also the constant question of how he stayed so fit this late in his career. I've had players and coaches tell me things like, they just take it for granted. They assume it's true. Pause on that for a second. Coaches and players, people who study athletes every day, assuming LeBron might be getting extra help? That's wild. And what's even crazier? Booker didn't sound surprised at all. He sounded like someone who's been hearing these whispers for years and finally decided to speak them out loud. He wasn't saying anything new, he was just repeating what's been simmering under the surface. And if you want to see how far this story goes, you have to look at the guy who never holds back. Chael Sonnen, former UFC fighter and full-time controversy starter, said the quiet part out loud. Chael isn't subtle. When he casually dropped his line on a podcast, the room went silent for a second. Did he really just say that? Some people swear what we're seeing is pure greatness. Others can't shake the feeling something doesn't add up. And it's not just players whispering behind closed doors. The league's media machine could be tangled in this too, and that's the part nobody wants to touch because it gets uncomfortable fast. The NBA has a lot riding on LeBron. He's not just another star, he's a global attraction. When he plays, ratings spike. When he eventually retires, the league loses a huge piece of its identity. So here's the uncomfortable question: if something shady were happening, would the NBA even want the full truth?
Not enjoying what I do on a day-to-day basis inside the bubble. Getting ready for a game, let's just say that. Spend a lot of time on my body for sure.
Okay, Alicia has.
Would they risk a global backlash by digging too deep? Or would they do what big organizations usually do, stay quiet, keep things smooth, and smile for the cameras while looking the other way? We've seen this story play out before. Lance Armstrong wasn't exposed until he was basically out the door, and even then, it took years for the full truth to come out. Why? Because everyone bought into the illusion. Everyone benefited from it. And maybe, just maybe, the NBA is holding on to its own illusion right now. That brings us back to what Ric Bucher said, because the next part he shared hit even harder than everything before. He said there's a culture of quiet acceptance. He didn't just hint at it. He said he's talked to multiple people, players, coaches, and trainers who don't just suspect LeBron might be using something. They assume it. And that's where the story gets dangerous. Once people privately accept something, it becomes normal. Nobody questions it, nobody asks questions. It just turns into the unspoken rule in the room. Booker even said it still surprises him. People will just say, "Oh yeah, that's happening," like it's already understood. That's crazy. Picture that, a player dominating the league deep into his late 30s, almost 40, still moving like he's in his prime. And the people closest to the game just shrug like it's common knowledge. No failed tests, no official reports, no public claims, just a quiet room full of insiders giving each other that look. The look that says everything without speaking a word. It's like watching a magician repeat the same trick night after night. After a while, people stop asking how he pulls it off. The illusion stays strong, but only as long as nobody walks behind the curtain to see what's really there. And what if that curtain has already started to move a little? Because this pattern we're seeing in the story isn't new, this isn't the first time an athlete has seemed almost superhuman. Lance Armstrong, Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez, they all had huge fan bases. They all shut down rumors. And yet, the early signs were the same every time: crazy longevity, unbelievable performance deep into their careers, insiders whispering behind the scenes, and complete silence whenever uncomfortable questions came up. For years, there was no proof, until suddenly there was. That's why people start seeing things differently. But let's be clear, nobody has proven anything about LeBron. No failed tests, no investigations, no official accusations, nothing on paper. Still, the pattern that some people inside the game keep pointing to feels far too familiar. And what's wild? Those insiders, the ones who understand the pattern best, aren't rushing to defend him. Some stay silent, others act like they haven't heard a thing, and honestly, that silence might be the loudest part of this entire story. So the